Generating traffic and sales can be a challenge for online merchants. But selling on the Walmart Marketplace puts your products in front of millions of customers who shop on Walmart.com. And right now, sellers who join Walmart Marketplace can save up to 50% on referral and fulfillment fees for the first 90 days. So get started today. Head over to marketplace.walmart.com/savings. That's marketplace.walmart.com/savings.
Welcome to E-Commerce Conversations, a podcast by Practical E-Commerce.
This is Kerry Murdoch with Practical E-Commerce. Magento, the e-commerce platform, launched in 2007, grew dramatically, and then was acquired by eBay. When eBay divested PayPal in 2015, it also sold Magento to a private equity firm. Magento CEO is now Mark Lavelle, who, among other accomplishments, co-founded Bill Me Later, the payment service. He joins us to discuss Magento and the state of e-commerce generally. Well, Mark, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Kerry. Pleasure talking to you.
Mark, we've been looking forward to visiting with you. Magento is certainly a storied e-commerce platform. Could you bring us up to date on the status of the company, who the owners are, what your products are, your user count, and that sort of thing?
Sure. Well, it's a pretty exciting time here. As a matter of fact, we were just celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Magento's founding. So, storied company indeed. As you said, we've spun out of eBay. The company was acquired in 2011, 2012. Spent time within eBay with developing a large suite of products that when eBay and PayPal split up and went their separate ways as stock companies, I got the opportunity to work with private equity and spun Magento and some other interesting technologies out into an independent company. That company is Primera, a very global, London-based and Silicon Valley-based growth private equity firm. Established the company during the first year and ultimately added a second investor, Hill House Capital, which is a very prominent investor out of Hong Kong and helping us with our expansion into Asia. So, it's been a very exciting 18 months or so. We have really revamped the entire product line. We've upgraded the core components of Magento, the Magento Commerce platform. We've added order management as a product line, business intelligence, Magento Business Intelligence, and maybe the biggest of all is the Magento Cloud offering, which provides kind of the best of both worlds for customers looking for the traditional flexibility and extendability of Magento with a hosted and managed cloud environment for them to rapidly scale their businesses.
How is user growth?
User growth is pretty tremendous. We don't release those as a private company, but I can tell you the acceleration of our enterprise software business around cloud, the fastest selling part of our business. We have also seen really a proliferation of, I'd say, Kerry, the interesting thing that's happening is just how broad our market has gotten. We see digital commerce being in demand from nearly every industry out there. So the most interesting thing to me is it's not just your B2C commerce market anymore. We are actually a leader in B2B. Matter of fact, Forrester just named us the leader in mid-market B2B in their wave, and Gartner put us as leader in their Magic Quadrant for all of digital commerce. So growth we've seen geographically. A lot of companies looking to get to global buyers and having to localize in different languages and different fulfillment streams. So Magento is very flexible at that. And growth across industries, like we have clients that work in government, entertainment, financial services, all forms of B2B, consumer packaged goods, as well as our traditional retail e-commerce business. Continue to do very well.
If I understood the products correctly, you now have Magento open source, which I think used to be the community edition. And then, as you mentioned, there's Magento Cloud. Are those the two offerings you have now?
Correct. Those we continue to provide and contribute very heavily to open source. The community, that ecosystem around Magento is a key advantage for us in the market. It's what our clients love about us, is the diversity of solution implementation and technology integrations they get from Magento. We have over 265,000 developers across the world. We have 300 solution providers that we certify, and thousands of technology partners that integrate with Magento. And that's a very vibrant economy. We estimate that does over $5 billion of revenue itself a year, and powers. If you look at the entire install base between our open source and enterprise and our cloud product, we did about 124 billion of transaction value in by the time 2017 is over. So a significant, vibrant economy around Magento kind of bodes well for what we see happening in the industry, which is, if you're going to be engaging, if you're going to be selling and you're going to be engaging customers, you're going to do it digitally, across channel, and that kind of lends to our flexibility and capabilities on the platform.
With your B2B initiative, is that mainly through your cloud product, or is that mainly open source?
It's the B2B module is primarily through our cloud product, and it's a module that is integrated with the core commerce digital platform, and we also have the enterprise commerce product that's available in cloud. But you also have the option, because we serve such a broad market, to take that on premise. If some use cases require a private cloud or a hybrid cloud, or some people want to co-locate with their current facilities, Magento is the only product that kind of gives you that type of flexibility to run it in our cloud, across clouds, or in your own environment. And a lot of the CIOs of our clients kind of love to have that flexibility in today's global environment.
What's the price range of the cloud product?
Yeah, it depends on how much volume you're using. It depends a little bit on what sector you're in. So B2B is priced differently than B2C because of the average order size in B2C is very different. So we quote a price that includes the software and the service and the cloud service together for our clients, and we also provide the ability at the lower end of the SMB market to pay that on a monthly basis. But our typical clients are doing several million to hundreds of millions of dollars. We even have a half a dozen clients or so doing billions of dollars on our platform. So a lot of our pricing becomes customized based on the size of the customer and the use case that they're intending.
What's the very low end price, say for an SMB client?
No. Very low end price is going to be around $24,000, $28,000. So $2,000 plus a month, which would include the cloud environment. So very compelling value proposition at the low end. And then as you scale and want more enterprise features and more stronger SLAs and support, the price would go up from there.
From our vantage point, from what we hear from the SMB merchants that we dialogue with, they generally appear to be gravitating towards SaaS platforms. Certainly there are many options for them, inexpensive, powerful SaaS e-commerce platforms. Are you seeing that with your open source product? Are you seeing less growth with open source, given what appears to us to be the appeal of SaaS platforms?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say what we're seeing for SMBs is a type of SMB that is really gravitating towards Magento's cloud product because they want to have that infrastructure as part of the service. And quite frankly, it's not 2010 or 11 anymore. It's Google and Amazon and Microsoft and Alibaba. They're taking the cost of computing down to zero, and they're also upping the level of capabilities you get. It's becoming very much a utility. So they want to take advantage of that. It's getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and better to host a global commerce platform. So SMBs that run on our platform can take advantage of all that and still have a very powerful, capable application running their digital experience that they can customize and modify and extend and grow with them, to unlimited heights. Like I said, we've got companies doing billions of dollars. So it's great for those types of clients, the SMB customer that has stores or already has some back end integration they want to do, already knows they're going to be selling across multiple channels, already knows they want to sell in multiple languages and multiple geographies. That's where we really see us accelerating our share in that part of the market.
You mentioned earlier your business intelligence module. Is that cloud only or cloud and open source?
It's cloud, and we also provide a version of it in open source. It greatly enhances a merchant's ability to do reporting out of Magento, as well as get indicators into the lifetime value and cost of acquisition of various segments. So it's a great tool that merchants can use to help grow their business, to help understand the ROI of their business. And as they get more sophisticated with it is great at adding third-party data, proprietary data, so that you can do greater and greater segmentation across customer segments and across channels, which is kind of the name of the game now, because not everybody's going to be coming to your website. You've got to look at who your customer is and where they're spending time. And increasingly, those are social platforms and marketplace platforms. And they have very different ROI dynamics and customer acquisition dynamics. So that's what that Magento Business Intelligence is designed to help with.
Perhaps the dominant issue for independent e-commerce merchants is the rise of Amazon and the ability of those merchants to attract visitors to their website. My question for you is, what's the future of independent, pure play e-commerce merchants given the dominance of Amazon?
Yeah, I think those realities are upon us, and I think they're sinking into various segments of the market where you're either going to be optimistic about the potential to sell digitally, or you're going to hide your head in the sand. And I think you're seeing both play out. Certainly, the website, the ability to navigate to a website and retain a customer is always going to be table stakes for a seller. But really what they need to think about is, where is my customer spending time? So it's not just Amazon. Amazon is certainly a force of nature, taking a lot of share, gaining a lot of the growth. But it's also where users are spending time and what their experience is. They're spending time on social platforms. They're spending time in marketplace platforms. They're spending time, in sort of texting platforms where they're not really spending it in the traditional user experience at all. So the merchant still needs to have a brand that gets projected through those channels. I think that's the big challenge going forward, as well as Amazon, is what is your brand going to be like when the consumer is not necessarily navigating to your site? And that requires a very flexible approach to managing your catalog, to managing your user data, to controlling checkout, and also controlling fulfillment. So yeah, I think it is a more complex world for sellers of all sizes. But I think it's not a technology problem. It's not that they can't accomplish these things. It's just how well does the brand cut through to these channels, acquire a customer, and how are you leveraging information across the platform to keep that customer coming back?
We all talk about the rise of Amazon, but conversely, we see examples daily of merchants, really innovative merchants, whether they're doing it with subscriptions or innovative content or instructional content, that are tremendously successful outside of Amazon. In fact, we hosted a seminar a few weeks ago on that very topic, and it was interesting to see the different strategies that merchants have used to grow and embrace the future, as you put it.
Yeah. I mean, we have companies like Shinola on our platform, famous Detroit brand, that really is doing some tremendous things, very mobile first, very cross-channel brand, capabilities using Magento. A lot of very innovative UK fashion customers like Misguided, Oliver Sweeney, John Nitz, Frank and Oak. I mean, these customers, these clients aren't sort of taking it lying down. They are very brand centric, experience centric. They find the customers they want. They service them in multiple channels, in multiple geographies, and they do it very, very cost effectively. It's also very interesting how like non-traditional, what we think of e-commerce clients are coming to our platform. We have a 100-year-old eyewear retailer, has 2,200 stores, called Devlin, that operates in the Southwest and Mexico, and has implemented Magento into all their stores so they can see real-time inventory and really increase the throughput of their e-com inventory to their customer. We've got Big Bus Tours that operates in 18 global sites. So you get on the bus and you buy the tickets and you tour cities. They're very e-commerce centric in acquiring customers and retaining customers. And as I said, we've got probably about 35% of our business now is B2B, and another big chunk of our business is direct to consumer. With brands like Nestle and the like that don't really have the Amazon issue because they're manufacturing the product and they're selling it wherever the customer wants to interact with them.
You mentioned your two investors, two private equity firms, Permira and Hill House Capital. Presumably, they're very bullish on e-commerce, having made the investments in your company. Can you tell us about their plans or your plans for Magento in terms of perhaps acquisitions or maybe an IPO on the horizon?
Yeah, well, we are a high growth company. We're a profitable company. We've got a very good funding situation with Hill House and Permira. When, for instance, Hill House kind of came to us, and we were right in sync with the fact that this is a long-term kind of secular shift to the way every industry and every vertical is buying technology. They're buying cloud-based technology. They're buying digital experience technology. They want business intelligence tools. Every C-suite, every investor, every board is asking, what is our digital strategy? Is it comprehensive enough? So even in places where you might find closing of retail stores or lack of investment in various areas, we see organizations not curtailing and, as a matter of fact, increasing their investment in digital. So that's what our owners see. That's what we see, and it's kind of a good place to be right now.
Anything else on your mind, Mark? We have just another minute or two left.
No, it's great to be able to talk about the Magento brand. We are the largest mid enterprise commerce platform in the world with the largest ecosystem. The open source community around Magento is what makes it strong, and we see a lot of greenfield opportunity to digitize parts of the commerce markets that have not yet been digitized, and we also see a whole lot of companies that are replatforming to the next generation of software. So very, very happy to talk to your listeners, and thank you very much for the interest in Magento.
Well, for purposes of our listeners, I've been visiting with Mark Lavelle. Mark is the CEO of Magento. That's the pioneering e-commerce platform. The website is magento.com. And Mark Lavelle, I want to thank you for your time today, sir.
Thank you, Kerry.